Lionel Messi, the name that has echoed through football stadiums around the world, is known not only for his dazzling skills, but for his deep connection to Barcelona. For 23 incredible years, Messi was not just a player at the club, he was Barcelona. But in 2021, a moment came that no one expected. Messi left Barcelona. How did we go from the greatest player in history playing for his childhood club to him leaving in tears? Let's dive into why Lionel Messi left Barcelona and what followed after that unforgettable exit. In 2021, Lionel Messi's departure from Barcelona was a shock to fans, players, and the football world. At the heart of the problem was the club's financial crisis. Under former president Josep Maria Bartomeu, Barcelona's financial situation spiraled out of control. Overspending on players, failing transfers, and a lack of financial strategy left the club in a vulnerable position. To make matters worse, there was the Barcagate scandal, where Bartomeu was accused of hiring companies to smear players, including Messi. Amid all this chaos, Messi's contract expired in 2021. Although Messi was desperate to stay and even offered to take a pay cut to stay at Barcelona, the club's hands were tied. La Liga's strict financial regulations meant that Barcelona could not register Messi, even if he was willing to play for free. The club's wage cap had been drastically reduced from over $600 million to under $100 million. Barcelona had posted a loss of $487 million, and there simply wasn't room to keep Messi. On paper, it appeared as if Messi walked away, but in reality, he was forced out. It wasn't a decision driven by ambition or ego. It was a financial reality that no one could escape. The day Messi played his final match for Barcelona was quiet and emotional. It was a 2-1 loss to Celta Vigo in May 2021, a match that marked the end of an era. Messi's farewell was not filled with fanfare or a stadium full of ovations. It was a quiet, heartbreaking moment for fans who couldn't quite believe it was happening. The most emotional part came during the press conference that followed. Messi, his eyes filled with tears, said goodbye to the only professional home he had ever known. He admitted that both he and his family were convinced they would stay, but the circumstances were simply out of his control. It was a moment that marked the end of one of the most magical eras in football. After his departure from Barcelona, Messi signed with Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, in August 2021. At PSG, he was part of the star-studded trio alongside Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. The move to Paris was seen as the start of a new chapter, but it never quite reached the fairy tale levels many expected. Although PSG won multiple Ligue 1 titles during Messi's time there, they couldn't secure the coveted Champions League title. The dream of a PSG dynasty never materialized in the way it had been envisioned, and by 2023, Messi made another decision, one that would take him to a different continent. In 2023, Messi chose to join Inter Miami in Major League Soccer, moving away from Europe and taking his legacy to the US. His decision was influenced by several factors, including the opportunity to grow the sport in a new market and a desire for a different lifestyle. Messi was no longer interested in hopping between European clubs. Instead, he wanted to prioritize his family and peace of mind. His victory with Argentina in the 2022 World Cup seemed to settle a part of his soul.
Argentina, champions of the world, again, at last!
He had achieved everything he wanted to on the international stage, and now he was ready for something new. As for Barcelona, the financial problems persisted, and despite attempts to bring him back, Messi's time at the Camp Nou appeared to be over. The possibility of Messi returning to Barcelona has been a topic of much speculation. Fans dreamed of his comeback, hoping to see him return for a final season in a tribute to his legendary career with the club. Messi too had that dream, admitting in interviews that he had hoped to return. But once again, Barcelona's financial woes stood in the way, and the move was simply not feasible. Messi then made his decision to move to Miami, embracing the change and focusing on a new chapter. At the age of 38, Messi continues to shine in MLS. He has already won the League's Cup and is helping to elevate the profile of football in the United States. Messi's presence in Miami has reinvigorated the sport and created a buzz that hasn't been seen before in the US soccer scene. However, the chapter of Messi's time in Barcelona, which started when he was a young boy and lasted over 2 decades, will always remain a major part of his story. Messi's love for Barcelona is eternal, and despite the financial challenges and his decision to leave, the bond he shares with the club will never fade. Barcelona will forever be the place where Messi's legacy was forged, and for many, the heart of the club will always be Messi's number 10 shirt. The story of Lionel Messi's departure from Barcelona is one of heartbreak, circumstance, and legacy. It's a reminder of how even the greatest player to ever play the game cannot escape the realities of modern football. From a childhood childhood dream to a difficult farewell, Messi's journey at Barcelona will forever be etched in history, not just in football, but in the hearts of millions of fans worldwide. What do you think of Messi's decision to leave Barcelona? Was it the right choice for his career, or do you think he should have stayed? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about football legends and their incredible journeys.